there, my name is Kelly Dale and I'm owner of Off the Beaded Path, which is located in Forest City, North Carolina. For today's video, I'm going to show you how to make the bow tie necklace that goes with last week's bow tie bracelet and the previous week's bow tie ring. Now for the necklace, I went ahead and completed the base. The base of this necklace is exactly the same as the bracelet from last week. So if you want to see how to do the base of the necklace, you need to go back to refer to last week's video. The difference is I've just made it longer. Whereas last week we only had 8 Montees, my necklace for 16 inches has 23 3.9 Montees in it. You want it to have an odd number of Montees, so that way a Montee will be right in the center of the necklace. So to complete the necklace today, you're going to need 124 6mm Bicones, 23 3.9mm Montees, 2 3mm rounds, 46 size 8 seed beads, 2 needles, a clasp of your choice, 10 grams of a size 11 seed bead, and 5 yards of a 6-pound fire line. That will do the entire necklace. So like I said, I'm not going to show you how to do the whole base, since that's from last week. I'll just show you from the base on how to complete the necklace. So go ahead and get your supplies and get started. I've completed my necklace, and this is the center part of the necklace. Like I said, you'll want a Montee here in the center and not one of these sections. I went ahead, tied off the thread, whole 9 yards, because I'm ready to actually start a new thread. I started this whole length of the necklace for 4 yards of thread, and this last piece is going to be a little less than a yard. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and go up under the thread between a crystal and one of my set of seed beads here. And I'm going to tie the thread together and make sure I go between those beads. I'm going to leave myself just a little bit of a tail so that way I can go stitch it in when I get finished with the project. Alright, I'm going to see if I can zoom in here a little bit for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is, here's my center Montee, and I want to be coming out of this bicone towards the Montee. So I'm going to go through the 6mm here at the top, through the size 8 seed bead, then through the 6mm, the 3/11s, and the 6mm. So my thread was tied on up here, and I've just come around to exit towards the Montee. I'm going to pick up, let me get it here. I'm going to pick up 1/11 and 2 6mm. So 1/11 and 2 6mm. I'm going to come back through the same 6mm I'm coming out of to make a circle. And when you pull the thread, it'll look just like this. I'm going to go through the 11 and the 6mm I just added. So I'm going to go through this bead and this bead. I'm going to pick up 2 6mm and 1/11. So 2 6s and 1/11. I'm going to come back around through the same bead I'm coming out of to make my circle. I'm going to go through the 2 6mm here to get into position, for the next circle. I want to pick up 111 and 2 6mm. I'm going to come back up through the same 6mm I'm exiting to make my circle. And I'm going to go through the 11 and 6mm that I just added. I'm going to pick up 1 6mm, and this is where I started. This is the bead where I want to end. So I've got my 6mm, and I'm going to go right through the 6mm here on the base, going towards the Montee, that center Montee. Now I'm going to pick up 111. I'm coming out here, and I'm going to come right down through the previous 11 or the previous 6mm I was coming out of, so that it actually finishes out the circle here in the center. I'm going to go through the 6mm that I just added, through the 6mm towards the Montee, and then through this first 11, which would be the last one that I added. So far it should look just like this. I'm going to pick up 111 and go through the next 11. Pick up 111, go through the next 11, and then pick up 111 and come through the last 11. I'm going to go through the 6mm that I started with here, and then through this 6mm. Be careful not to get your thread caught. So now that I've gone through those 6mm, I'm going to pick up 3 11s and go straight through the next 6mm. So far, this is what it'll look like. Now I'm coming out towards the center. I'm going to pick up 111, 1 6mm, and 111. We'll let these fall down. I'm going to skip the 11 and go back up through just the 6mm. Pick up 111, and I'm going to come through the next 6mm here along the outer edge. Pick up 3 11s, come straight through the next 6 millimeter. So that once you do this, and you've got that center correct, this is what it'll look like. Now I'm going to go through and tie this thread off with a couple of half-hitch knots, and then stitch in this tail and tie that thread off. I wanted you to see some other color samples of the necklace that I had made. This is one of my favorites. This is the black and crystal with the black seed beads. And this is with the vitriol or vitriol, and I used the crystal copper for the Montee, and I thought that one turned out really well also. This has some black seed beads to it as well. So those are 3 samples that I've worked on, and I'm also working on one to match the bracelet from last week, so I can't wait to see that completed. But we do have kits for each of these colors on our Etsy page as well as so I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to make the bow tie necklace to go with the bracelet and the ring. As I said, we do have the kits and the pattern available on our Etsy page in case you need more additional help with that. Be sure and come back next week when we're going to be off of the bow tie stuff and onto a new netted bracelet. So I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.